Hi, good morning. Welcome. I'm Mark. I just recently bought this Ranger Tug. It's a 2025 350 outboard. I've also got on it the Seakeeper ride. And so I thought I would take it from where I am today down to Panama City and bring you guys along if you would like to. Okay, so I want to demonstrate this auto guidance. So I am going to put in, for example, where am I going to go today? I'm going to go, let's say I'm going to right around here. Okay, put that in, auto guidance. Okay. Start navigation, and then with this Yamaha, what you do is you hit this point, track point activated, and pretty much does everything for you. What's also nice is if you unactivate it, so for example, let's say I move the steering wheel or I press this, track point's deactivated, but it holds the navigation no matter where you go, and then you can just hit this button again and it picks up and takes you back to your path. So pretty cool. This is the marina I was lucky enough to stay in, courtesy of Edgewater Yacht Sales, who actually sold me the boat and provided the most incredible service and training, along with this beautiful view from their marina of the Intracoastal. I love seeing these barges as well through here. This is a real sight. And this is kind of what the Intracoastal, especially when you go kind of west of here towards Texas and New Orleans as well, it becomes very industrial, and this is what you see the whole time. But it's a pretty cool moment here, just enjoying the Intracoastal waterway and all of the traffic that you kind of see along the way. So because of that barge, you can see that I've gone off course here and the track is over here because I pulled the wheel to the right, obviously to avoid the barge. So all I do is do this. Track point's activated. And you can see this little orange line, and all it does is curve me back on track. How cool is that? So this is as easy as it gets, kind of trucking along here. The engine's going behind me. The Seakeeper ride is keeping me nice and level, and the auto guidance is keeping me on the path. It's like I'm on a pleasure cruise, and so this is a really nice way to have a little adventure. Let me show you what happens when I take off the Seakeeper. So right now we're on auto. And if I do this, and this is my level attitude, then once I do this, it's manual. The boat physically changes, and it's dropping to the port side. Put it back in auto. And it figures it all out.
This is one of my favourite parts of the Intracoastal on the Emerald Coast. It's Fort McCree Cove, and it sits right by the entrance to Pensacola Bay. It's a wonderful place to anchor. It's pretty much protected on all sides, and often or not at the weekend you're going to see a lot of people in here, but during the week it's really well sheltered. And on this side of it, in the Intracoastal, you get to see the most beautiful sights and views of this epic beach just breaking away into the Pensacola Bay entrance.
This is the way to roll. I just went across Pensacola Bay and no stress at all. Seakeeper's doing a great job, and the view out here is just sensational over here. So having a wonderful time. It says it's going to put me in about 3-4 hours down in Panama City. So I'll keep you posted, but what a way to travel, just getting away from people. Not that I dislike people, it's just nice to have the solitude. And that's what this is just giving me. It's just giving me incredible solitude, great time to reflect, great time to think, and just really be in the moment and enjoy the view. It's fantastic.
Now you can see here that I'm typically getting about 1.8 nautical miles to the gallon. This seemed to be where I would stay, and as I went by Navarre Beach here at about 25 knots, little bit of chop, no problem at all for this incredible boat. It's amazing as you pass by these beautiful, majestic, gorgeous homes on the ICW, facing out into what would be the Gulf if it wasn't for the barrier islands. And then, of course, the view on the other side is quite different. The barrier islands themselves look like they've been ravaged from hurricanes and storms without the ability to repopulate and regrow. It's amazing to look at these two different landscapes facing each other, separated by a small stretch of water.
So ahead of me there is a boat, so we take the track point off and then we're able just to steer around the boat. There we go. And let me just press the track point. Track point's activated. And we're going back on the course again. This autopilot and track point thing from Yamaha, it's like being on a passenger on your own boat. Like I'm here by myself, but I'm able just to relax and enjoy, just keep watch in front of me here and look at all these beautiful golden sands. And whenever I need to come out of the track point, I can do, and then instantly go back in and just keeps navigating. I've been running for 2 hours now. On the same auto guidance, so it says that I'm going to get there in another 2 hours, so it'll be 4 hours on the intracoastal waterway here in Florida. So I think it's pronounced Appaloosa Island. Anyway, there's a restaurant here by the main bridge. And as you can see, there's a lot of boat traffic today. I am just taking my time.
Just to the east of the restaurant, there's a real shallow area. You have to be kind of careful if you're in a boat, but very often you'll see people come here and they'll come in kayaks or really shallow-hulled vessels. But often you'll just see people hanging out and swimming. What a great place to stop and enjoy the water. Shortly after this, I was able to get the boat back on plane and start making up for some lost time in those no-wake zones.
Well, I'm just taking a little break here, going at sort of 4 knots. I'm in the bay behind Destin. Destin's over there on my starboard side, and this thing is a monster. It is an intracoastal monster. It's so good how it just runs through. I haven't changed my course. I've left my auto guidance on. It does everything for you. So here I'm gonna take you outside so you can see where we are. Okay, so this is us out here in the bay. That over there, can you see that? Can you see that? Barely. That's Destin, and we've got another 40 or 50 miles, I think, to go before we get down to Panama City. Just having a little break. I'm going to have some more beef jerky, and then we're going to run a bit further. Cannot believe this thing is a 30-foot boat. 27-foot boat, actually, if you don't include the swim platform and all of that. But it's awesome. Right, let's get some more nautical miles under the hull.
It didn't take long to get back on plane, and also to get to the end of the bay, where we entered a different section of the intracoastal, also known as the ditch. This area is cut straight through between the bays and really does become a ditch. Off of it, you can sometimes see these little bayous and estuaries where they've built some of the most beautiful homes. But slowly, these started fading away, and the more traditional sense of what you might consider the ditch began to take view. And this really is what I ran through, going all the way down to West Bay, which was the bay that you'll find Panama City in. I always love running through the quote-unquote ditch. It's just such an otherworldly place. It's also weirdly one of those places where I always seem to find myself just literally by myself. Occasionally you'll see something on the banks, like an alligator, or somebody stopped to take an afternoon nap while fishing. Sometimes you'll see a barge running through, or another boat, but typically I get the place to myself. I always keep my sonar on. I always want to be aware of the depth, but at the same time I really enjoy the view. As you go along and you see people that were less fortunate than you wonder what the story was. How did it get there? Was it a storm? Was it just bad luck? And eventually I happened upon a barge, as usual, pushing a huge weight in front of it. He kindly let me pass on the starboard side, and I carried on towards Panama City.
It's so weird to think that literally a few miles south of me right now is Sunnyside and Rosemary Beach, and all of those places that are jammed full of people, especially at this time of year. And yet it feels like, apart from me and the occasional barge, pretty much have the world to myself.
Once I entered West Bay, the conditions were not as friendly. Now I know that video never shows it, but it did get quite choppy, throwing a lot of water up over the boat, and also the wind was not our friend. So I literally took it very easy until I found the estuary by the welcome relief and the sight of the Coast Guard before I made my way to the dock in the marina for the evening.
Well, as you can see, change of clothes and back. It was a little bit choppy and very, very windy. It wasn't predicted, or I didn't see a prediction for it. So I wasn't able to film anything because I had to kind of get on the dock. And the dock itself is a little precarious, actually. I'll take you out and show you this. This is literally walking the plank. Let me turn the light on. So this little narrow thing is what I've got to walk to get to the actual dock, which is over there. So a little bit less space than I'm used to. Anyway, this thing is amazing. This boat has been incredible today. So much so that I'm going to do some more video tomorrow, I think, because I don't know that I did a great job of filming everything, but it certainly was an unbelievable boat, coped with everything. The big chop and the wind from Panama City, the ditch, Destin, the beauty, everything. I mean, it's the most relaxing thing. That autopilot, auto guidance is just unbelievable. So, don't judge me. It's really not that late, but I'm going to go to bed and do it all again tomorrow.